Continuity. Hello everyone and welcome to our latest Masterclass Monday. So as requested by Adam Pritchard on Facebook, today we are going to be looking at monologues. Now monologues are a key skill because you'll find yourself in endless auditions for various places, and also having confidence with tackling monologues yourself can actually open up a whole new exciting world to you. There are lots of nationwide competitions and the like things like the UK Monologue Slam, there'll be a link down below, and working on monologues can be a really rewarding experience. So, what are the key steps to tackling a monologue? Read it thoroughly, and when I say read it, I mean read it. Don't skim it looking for the dramatic parts that are going to be fun to perform. Read it as if you're not going to perform it. Look at the character, what they're saying, identify the story that the monologue's telling, because a good monologue will still have an arc. The character should still be different in some way by the end of the monologue than when they started. For example, if the monologue is a confession, don't forget that confessing something can change the way a person feels. They can feel like a weight is lifted, or be tensely awaiting retribution, and that'll inform your performance choices. So just because you're alone on the stage doesn't mean that the character's alone in a situation. There's something on the other side of that fourth wall. Just as with a scene of dialogue, you need to figure out what the relationship between your character and whoever they're talking to is. Everyone behaves, for example, very differently with people that they like than they dislike. And again, it'll inform your kind of choices as a performer. Not every monologue is set in the same place, and we behave very differently in different situations. Some monologues will tell you where they are, and others will leave it up to you to make a decision based upon what's being said in the text. If you're making it up, I would try to keep it relevant, avoid forcing a dramatic situation or creating something that's very, very hard to convey. For example, your slow-paced monologue mediating on the economic breakdown that destroyed your once great family's fortune may feel dynamic when you deliver it as if the character is skydiving, but doing so may actually make the situation overshadow the material itself. So breaking a monologue down into thoughts is absolutely essential to a strong monologue performance. It can be a real challenge when faced with a block of text for it not to fall into a steady rhythm vocally and emotionally, and then very quickly you're lulling yourself or your audience to sleep. So take each line of your monologue and stop at every piece of definitive punctuation. So full stops, exclamation marks, question marks, apostrophes are fine. They'd be quite a strange place to stop. And ask yourself why your character's saying it. What are they trying to achieve? And doing this can be quite an onerous task, but once you've done it, following it through in performance will give your work a real and interesting texture. It can also be worth noting the transition point. Where does the tone or the mood change? How does it do so? And how is that going to affect how my character behaves? And doing all of that, as I said, will add a texture to your performance that otherwise wouldn't be there. So you, on stage, is not boring. I promise you, you're not boring. We as an audience are here to watch you perform, and we will do so. I think when doing a monologue, because they're usually text heavy and not necessarily the most physically out there things in the world, people often fall into the trap of rushing because they're worried that the audience are going to get bored. If you're engaged with the material, we're not bored. If you're rushing, the words become an endless stream of text, and that's when we start getting bored. So just take your time, really, it's fine, we will wait. You'd be amazed at how long we will wait. Now obviously don't start putting in forcing moments of dead air for the sake of it, but if your character needs to take a moment to think about what they're saying, or is supposed to be struggling to find the right words, it's okay. Take your time and we will wait with you. The points where you're being inactive or silent are just as important to the audience as when you are speaking. There's just as much content in those moments as the words. So a monologue is a detailed piece of work. You know, we're not painting with broad brushstrokes here. It can be very tempting to get big and dynamic with your performance, but it's really important that you stay true to the situation. So if your character is telling us how they miss someone who has just died, your character being upset isn't a license for you to suddenly take a chance to show off and start screaming or wailing on your knees as you shake your fists at the heavens. Smaller, quiet movements can be just as compelling as large ones. It's about fitting your physicality to the situation, because we as an audience are watching hyper awarely of what you do, so keep that situation clear. Now, we often fall into the trap because we perform a monologue alone, we work on it on our own. Please don't do this. It's imperative that you work with someone on your monologue. No matter how great a performance feels from the inside, no matter how amazing an actor you are, you're still not able to watch your performance with an outside eye. If you're able to, ask a director or a teacher that you trust. They can look over your performance and maybe offer some advice. If other creatives are not available to you, then do not despair. Ask a friend who knows, not a little bit about theatre, but more importantly, their opinion you trust, and perform your monologue for them. And after that, ask them, what they thought the story of the monologue was, how they thought the character was feeling, what did it make them feel? Because they're going to be a really good barometer for whether you're getting across the things that you're trying to convey. So that has been 7 quick tips on how to tackle preparing a monologue. But most importantly, if you're feeling daunted by all the things that I've just said, or the prospect of tackling a monologue, I really do mean it. The best way is to just get started. Throw yourself into it and do your best. It's an absolutely amazing avenue of theatre, and I always recommend give it a go. You'll love it. As always, stay safe, stay positive, and we'll see you soon.